Dave Campbell's Texas football, instant reactions here at the UIL Football State Championships. We just crowned the 2A Division II state champion, Albany Lions, 28-10 over Mart. They go back-to-back. I'm Ishmael Johnson. This is Matt Stepp. All right, Stepp, this one, I was very curious because 2A D2, despite what we know about the Mart program and how they've been able to do it, it hasn't been necessarily the crop for repeat champions, and Albany goes wire to wire.
Yeah, the Lions, they were wire-to-wire number one team, a pretty dominant performance today against a Mart team that I thought was gutty and gritty, considering the injuries that they were dealing with. But, Albany, not quite as dominant as last year. Last year, Mart was the big favorite going into the game.
Yeah.
Albany came out and proved everybody wrong, us included, with a real dominant 41-21 win. The roles were reversed this year, and Albany kind of held Mart at arm's length. Mart never really threatened. In this game, it was pretty much Albany from the jump.
Yep.
I thought Adam Hill's touchdown catch right before halftime was really the difference in the game. Made it a 21-3 game, and you can just tell with Mart struggling on offense, there was not much of a chance they were going to be able to come back from that kind of deficit with the offensive limitations they had today.
Yeah, you could tell Medlock didn't look right exactly when he dropped back to pass. It was, first of all, credit to the Albany defense because offensively they weren't as crisp as they were. Like last year was a two-way effort for Albany, absolutely dominating both ends. They weren't as dominant on offense, but the defense did not let Mart get anything going. They didn't get the touchdown until late. I believe they had 14 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 picks. So fantastic effort from guys like Jackson Hole and then Heedy as well. Those guys were all over the field, and they just did not allow Mart to get to the outsides to really use any of their strengths on offense.
Yeah, Mart, because of the limitations on offense, they were having to throw the ball a little bit more, and I thought Albany's defensive line got pressure on Medlock. Medlock couldn't escape and run, and then when he did throw the ball, a lot of his passes were contested, either by defensive linemen or with DBs kind of lurking in the area. That's why Albany forced as many turnovers as they did. Just really a complete effort from their defense. I thought their special teams were good as well. They consistently pinned Mart. It was kind of a punt game there early in the game. Albany was kind of dominating field position. Mart couldn't even get a first down at times, and it was just kind of a real grinded out kind of gritty win for Albany. Just kind of, not real flashy, not real sexy, but very, very effective. And Albany gets Denny Faith his second state title in school history.
Yeah, I was about to say. So now
for him, not in school history, but for him personally. Yeah.
I guess ending on that, Denny Faith, goes so long without a state title, gets it done last year. And I mentioned, unless you're talking the Rashad Paul Bremond teams or Mart, 2A D2 hasn't been a team or a classification that's seen a lot of repeats. So what does it mean for Denny Faith to kind of continue this kind of run for them, but also Albany to kind of now put their name up with those 3 teams, right? You think of the era of this past 10 or so years, you think of Bremond, Mart, and now probably Albany.
Absolutely. Albany, and if it wasn't for Rashad Paul, Albany's probably got 4 or 5 state titles.
That's a really good point.
They pushed Bremond in those two of those games early. Paul's sophomore and junior, it was nip and tuck ball games. So really, Albany was kind of knocking at the door. They get over the hump, they kick it down. They got back-to-back titles, and I think they've established themselves as one of those in the 2020s, one of the real programs that we're going to talk about when the decade runs out as one of the teams of the decade. And there's no, Albany's been a consistent winner in the big country. And there's no reason to think, regardless of what happens with Denny Faith, if he's going to come back or not. I mean, he's been around for a long time, so we're not speculating or anything. But he's been around for a while.
You never know.
You never know. He might not be back, and I think regardless of what happens, Albany's going to be in the mix as one of the teams in 2A Division II, even after realignment with the changing landscape. The Lions are going to be right there. And I think Mart is too. Kevin, I give a lot of credit to Mart. Their defense had their backs against the wall all day long because of the offensive struggles. They hung in there, didn't give up. They never hung their heads. They were playing until the end and made this game. It was 21-10 in the fourth quarter. A break here, and Mart all of a sudden could be right back in it. So their defense held them in it. Thought Kevin Hoffman's ball club with a lot of odds stacked against him played a really good ball game today.
100%. All right, so Class 2A is done. We just crowned Division 1 last night and then Division 2 today. 3A is about to go forward, and we'll be here, TexasFootball.com, DCF on Twitter, everywhere, all your coverage for state championship weekend. We'll be here. Keep it locked.